The gentleman is right. A vast majority, not 100% necessarily, of those who are on the Islamic, on the terror watch list are Muslims. No such thing called a marriage in the Quran. You take someone, prostitution is literally something that happens in Islam under the guise of quote unquote a marriage. You get married, have sex, say triple talaq and move away. This is prostitution. So prostitution plus right hand possessing slavery plus underage sexual desires. What you have are the sex slavery gangs across our nation. What makes you think, sir, that showing a bummy to maybe 30, 40 men behind you is praying? What makes you think so? Please come here. Please come.
How do you just pray?
I'd call that bum exercise maybe. You call that praying? Dear friends, I am a Christian and I am working hard. The last 2 years, 3 years, I have been reading the Quran over and over again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. The last 2-3 years, I've been reading the Quran over and over again. And now, we are preparing a master plan. And the master plan is going to be empathetic towards the Muslims. So despite all the serious problems you cause, as a Christian, I am going to advocate and work towards establishing a special branch in the NHS. You know NHS?
I don't know if this is your first time here.
How many of you are not aware of NHS?
He doesn't let you.
NHS, everyone is aware?
You have to speak over.
We Christians are working towards establishing a special arm in NHS.
He won't answer.
And as Christians, we are willing to contribute millions because we empathize with the Muslims. And our empathy tells us that to help Muslims, clearly who are caught up in this mental health issue, we are willing to set aside millions of pounds to declare a national mental health emergency in relation to Islam. We can even do foreign donation to make it an international mental health emergency. We are willing to do that because we are empathetic. Because I understand if anyone were to read this Quran prior to becoming an adult, clearly by the time of becoming an adult, he will be deluded and will be seriously brain damaged. I completely understand, and therefore I want to be empathetic. But you should not take the empathy for granted. You know why? While we Christians are trying to be empathetic, look at the issues caused by sincere adherents of the Quran or Muslims. The Muslims who are sincere, what kinds of problems in their mental illness do they cause in Christian nation like ours? Well, number one, terrorism. Terrorism, Islam has a monopoly on terrorism. Southport attack.
Actually, terrorism.
Not quite a monopoly.
Not quite a monopoly. Look, at least he's making sense. Please listen. Would you say 95%?
Well, I think on the terror watch list, 80% of people on the terror watch list in the UK are, I'm afraid, Islamists.
Yeah. 85%. Wait a second. Excuse me, sir. You're not making sense. Please say quiet. The gentleman is right. A vast majority, not 100% necessarily, of those who are on the Islamic, on the terror watch list are Muslims. But can I please ask you one thing, sir? Do you know that the London Met, including the London Met, most of the police forces across our nation are utterly clueless in relation to what to monitor when it comes to Muslims? Are you aware of this?
I'm not aware.
You're not aware.
So
let me please tell you, sir.
That's a specific thing I don't know the answer
Sure.
to.
So let me tell you this. The only reason Muslims are not 99.99% of the terror watch list in our nation is simply because, is not because Islam doesn't have a virtual monopoly, but because the police forces are a bit clueless. And so they don't simply know who to watch. And therefore, the Southport murders happened just a few months ago. If the police are clued up really well, you would find out that Muslims would have a virtual monopoly in terrorism, not just in the UK, but across the world. The only thing which is saving the nations like ours so far, despite the morbid hatred of the Islamists to kill people en masse in our nations, the only thing that is saving us is because the brain damage makes them not very intelligent. That is the only reason. And here is where they come up with ideas such as underwear bomb, pressure cooker bomb, homemade little bomb. Had they been intelligent, had they not received mental damage from Islam, I can tell you very honestly, my dear friends, for all the hatred out there, our nation would be wiped out. So problem number one, Islam. Problem number two, pedophilia. Pedophilic sex slavery. Virtual monopoly by Muslims across our nation. And who knows, across the world. Because Surah 65 Ayah 4 says that you can take a prepubescent girl, especially who your right hand possesses, to have as your sex slave. That will ring a bell to you. Rotherham and many other towns in our nation.
That is in the Quran, yes.
That is right at the center of the Quran. Add two or three things together, you get the sex slavery of children in our nation. Add number one, that children, underage children, prepubescent children, good to see you. Prepubescent children are people you can have sex with, number one. Number two, non-Muslims, you can take as sex slaves. Number two. And number three, there is no such thing called a marriage in the Quran. You take someone, prostitution is literally something that happens in Islam under the guise of quote unquote a marriage. You get married, have sex, say triple talaq and move away. This is prostitution. So prostitution plus right hand possessing slavery plus underage sexual desires. What you have are the sex slavery gangs across our nation. Do you see the problem that Islam is causing to us? And therefore, my dear friends, Islam needs to be declared as a mental health emergency across our nation. Now finally, let's deal with one more. If you are a sincere Muslim, hello sir, do you understand English, sir? You don't? But you were laughing earlier. What happened? Only laughing. All right. Are you Muslim, sir? You're not. Good. Well done. Keep it up.
Not saying you or him.
Yeah.
No,
Good. Okay, have your popcorn. Please keep moving. Thank you very much.
You are going to hell.
What's that, sir? Not so strong. Please come here. Let's see how strong you are. Please come. Please come here, please. All right. The fourth area which makes us believe that Islam needs to be declared as a serious mental health problem
You're the example of
is,
mental health.
despite all evidence, Muslims seem to walk around with a delusion when it comes to history.
You're angry.
Please tell me, sir, is Adam a Muslim, sir? Are you Muslim, sir?
We are happy.
Okay, if you're not, that's fine. Please. Are you Muslim, sir? Are you Muslim, my dear friend? Are you Muslim?
He have a big
Yourself, are you Muslim?
Are
you- no. Any Muslim who wants... Are you Muslim, sir? No. Are you Muslim, sir? Alhamdulillah, please come. In other words, clueless, like everyone else. That's good. Good. Clueless, alhamdulillah. Why did he say alhamdulillah?
Yeah. Shaitan is inside you, sleeping inside.
Why did he say Alhamdulillah?
Yeah. I don't want to be on your camera. Shaitan inside
That's fine.
you.
Why Alhamdulillah? If you can't answer a basic question, what is there about Alhamdulillah? Get lost. Yeah, good. You see the delusion? Can't answer a simple question and all that he has is threat. Get lost. Alhamdulillah. Can you imagine walking around like a 35, 40-year-old man having utterly no clue about a religion which you think is going to take you to heaven? Look at him. He must be 50 years old. Poor man. I empathize for him.
Buddha smile.
I really. Look at him.
Before I believe in
Can you imagine if I were to have his life, I would have given up on life a long time ago. Can you imagine walking around, having popcorn, being at Speaker's Corner, yet being unable to answer the most basic of questions? It's really a sad life.
Muslims are relaxed. We are happy.
To be a Muslim is really hard. One second. No, one second. To be a Muslim is really hard. So as Christians, we want to empathize.
You don't want to pray. That's why.
You want to pray? Please come here. Let's see how you pray. Please show me how you pray.
You pray like Jesus.
My dear friend, please come here. Show me how you pray. What? Excuse me, sir. What makes you think? What makes you think showing your bummy to many other men behind you is praying? Please come here. Help me understand.
Jesus prayed.
What makes you think? Please, once. No. I'm focused right now. Please. Apologies. I really need to focus on this. Please. What makes you think, sir, that showing your bummy to maybe 30, 40 men behind you is praying? What makes you think so? Please come here.
Muslims to God.
Please come.
How do you just pray?
I'd call that bum exercise maybe. You call that praying?
Criticize your own Jesus. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Please come here.
You're criticizing Jesus, your own Jesus.
My own Jesus.
Yeah.
He.
Bow down.
Yeah, really. Please come here. Show me how. Please show how. Please. Come here. Please show. Please come. Please show a demonstration. Are you a Muslim, sir? Clearly not a Muslim. You don't even want to show.
But then he's gone. Your brain gone. Too much Buddha.
How many Muslims? How many? So deluded. For how long would you like to be deluded, sir? For how long would you like to be deluded?
You are deluded.
How old are you, sir?
What?
How old are you?
Regardless, what's the age got to do with it?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine. You look like that. Yeah, good. 1,000. You look like that. Good. 1,000 years old. Still deluded. No, don't. Amama, don't. Amama. Clearly. No, excuse me, sir. This is a Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner. Try this in your masjid. In your masjid, bum lifting exercise and other things will be very much entertained. Not here. And when you come out and come to Speaker's Corner, all that you say is biryani, cow. What kind of intelligence is this? What's the level of your intelligence? IQ? Did you sit through IQ exams, sir? Anytime in the past? All right. Please come here. Please come.
What's the best?
Please come.
Chicken masala or beef masala?
Oh, yeah.
That's good question.
Good. Please. Good. You're on record. Good. Where are you from? Where are you from?
He's from biryani.
Can you imagine the brain dead state of these people? Walking around brain dead. And they are laughing. Look at him. He must be 50 years old. And he comes here and he says, chicken tikka or whatever nonsense he says.
No, sister, use brain walking around with belly button. Not brain.
All right. Any Muslim who can speak. Can you speak in English, sir? Are you a Muslim, sir?
No, belly button, bum, go everywhere.
Yourself. How about you, sir? Come again? Sorry, come again? Would you like to have a sensible conversation? What?
He said biryani.
I can't. Did you understand what he said? No, maybe. That's fine. That's not new. It's the same story. Same story. Why do Muslims come to Speaker's Corner to have popcorn? Why do Muslims come to Speaker's Corner to shout Allahu Akbar, Mullahu Akbar, a few times a day and then walk around and go? This is why they come. At Speaker's Corner, we employ our brains. We engage in sensible conversations. This is not a place where you shout your Allah Akbar, every time someone rings a bell and then move around. This is a miserable life. Now, but don't worry, through God's grace, we will get Islam categorized as a mental health issue, mental health emergency. And we'll set aside millions of pounds to help you all out. We'll show empathy to help you.